Breaking news tonight out of London. Police are investigating an incident on London Bridge. Witnesses reporting a vehicle hitting pedestrians. A witness on the scene told BBC a white van veered off the roads and struck as many as 6 people. Witnesses also report some victims appear to have stab wounds. Police reporting they fired shots while responding. England has been on edge, like you remember, on May 22nd when a suicide bomber killed 22 people at an Ariana Grande concert at the Manchester Arena. We'll continue following the story developing on air, online, and our website at NBC26.com. But happening now, Wisconsin Democrats are looking for ways they can make changes in the state before the next presidential election in 2018, and they're starting with the Democratic State Convention. NBC 26's Shara Taylor spoke with the leaders at the convention and tells us what they want to do more to be active.
Mo, today at the convention, a lot of topics were discussed. 2 main key points were better paying jobs and the quality of water. Delegates vote today for positions of leadership in the party. People at the convention we spoke with expressed concerns for their counties in particular.
People are worried about lead in their drinking water. They're worried about the quantity and quality of their drinking water. They're worried about their schools. They're worried about their roads.
I believe that healthcare is a human right. And right now there are 2.4 million people under the age of 65 in our great state that have pre-existing conditions. And at the federal level, they voted against all 2.4 million of them.
Some are hoping new leadership is the answer.
Our party needs new leadership. We need to start winning elections if we want to be effective and make change in people's lives like we purport to want to do.
A Winnebago County delegate says they need to have a message that resonates with working class people where there have been some layoffs.
The economy hasn't really grown for them. Their wages have been stagnant. A lot of their unions have left.
Democratic Party members are hoping to build the organization by knocking on doors, fundraising, and research. Keeping you connected in Madison, Shara Taylor, NBC 26.
All right, thanks for that report, Shara. Now, covering America on NBC 26, former FBI Director James Comey is set to testify publicly at a congressional hearing on Thursday on Russia's meddling in the U.S. election. But the Trump administration could move to silence him. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell has more.
President Trump and James Comey, the FBI director he fired, could be headed for a new power struggle this week. Comey is set to go public Thursday about the Russia investigation. But the White House is not ruling out a move that could block Comey from testifying on Capitol Hill by claiming an executive branch privilege that protects the privacy of a president's conversations with senior officials. In a new letter, Democratic lawmakers warned the White House any assertion of privilege by the president would be seen as an effort to obstruct the truth. That preemptive strike came after White House officials, including Press Secretary Sean Spicer, said legal options are on the table.
I think obviously it's got to be reviewed.
So that is not a no?
I have not spoken to counsel yet. I don't know how they're gonna respond.
Getting answers proved difficult on another issue.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. This is slightly less controversial than yesterday.
After President Trump broke with nations around the world over climate change. Temperatures rose in the briefing room. EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt and the press secretary deflected all questions on the president's own view on climate change after candidate Trump mocked the science.
Does the president believe today that climate change is a hoax?
Yes or no? Does the president believe that climate change is real?
What does the president actually believe about climate change? Does he still believe it's a hoax?
Neither Pruitt nor Spicer had any answer.
I have not had an opportunity to have that discussion.
While we're under a weather alert tonight, so what's headed our way? Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman's got that answer. Matt.
Hey Mo, we are tracking some severe storms that are now pushing the northern parts of the viewing area. Northern Marinette County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30 p.m. The storm capable of quarter-size hail, also 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and also the potential of a possible tornado. This does have some rotation associated with it, so we're going to watch this one closely. No tornado warning just yet, but this storm does have rotation and could drop a tornado at any time. So seek shelter. The storm is moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. There are more storms back off to the west, and these will be moving on into northeast Wisconsin as we push into this evening. There is a severe thunderstorm watch for mainly our northern counties until 10 o'clock this evening. And that just means with a slight risk that we have across northeast Wisconsin that we could see a few storms that could be on the severe side. with hail, damaging winds, and maybe an isolated tornado all possible. Here's a look at current conditions in Green Bay. It's a warm one, 82 degrees, humid as well. Plenty of fuel for storms this evening and tonight. As we move through the evening, temperatures falling through the 70s, and we'll wait for those storms to roll on in later this evening. Much more details about tonight's stormy weather and what to expect for your Sunday coming up. Mo?
All right, thanks so much, Matt. Now, a woman is killed in a car crash in Manitowoc County just before 7 Friday evening. She's identified as 28-year-old Shayna Lancashire. The coroner reports she was pronounced dead at the scene on Louis Corners Road, south of County Highway XX in the town of Schleswig. She was not wearing a seatbelt. The accident is still under investigation. Now for an NBC 26 follow-up, the suspect in a standoff with Menasha police is still at large. This all happened yesterday when police pulled over a vehicle in the 1100 block of Geneva Road. They say a man took his 2-year-old child into a nearby apartment. Officers discovered the man had a fake name and had active warrants. They tried getting him out, but the suspect refused. Police did get the 2-year-old out by getting a ladder to the second story of the apartment. Now, please contact the Menasha Police Department if you have any other information. A soggy, stormy morning couldn't stop determined bicyclists from taking part in the 28th MAC Fund Trek 100. It's the organization's biggest fundraising event of the year. Among those riding this year, former football and baseball star Bo Jackson, and another name you might be a little familiar with, Packers great Brett Favre.
Happy to be a part of it, and happy that John has us back. How far are you going to ride today? I think 150, something like that, give or take. All right, so if anyone wants to do an extra 50 after you're done, line up with Brett.
And Lauren Winfrey was in Waterloo for the start of the action. She brings you more.
He couldn't stop, so I can't.
Tearful yet tenacious, Tom Klink says he rides with his team for his 22-year-old son, Sam. Sam was diagnosed with a form of sarcoma when he was only 15 years old.
It affects everybody. I mean, it affects the kid the most, but it also affects the parents, family, grandparents, friends, because, I mean, it takes a village, I guess.
That village of supporters can also be found right here at the Trek 100 Ride for Hope. Each rider is obligated to raise at least $2 per mile for the Midwest Athletes Against Cancer, or MAC Fund, an organization co-founder and president John McLaughlin says is dedicated to raising money to help fund cancer research.
And we let these people know this is why you're riding, to help us defeat childhood cancer.
A form of childhood cancer that almost cost Tom Klink's son his life. And that's why Klink says this ride is so important to him and something he's committed to doing for years to come.
He could be gone, so nobody wants to outlive their kid.
In Waterloo, keeping you connected, I'm Lauren Winfrey for NBC 26.
A Wisconsin school honoring a fallen officer in a special way. Detective Jason Weiland was among 4 people killed in a bank shooting in March. Students and staff at Thomas Jefferson Elementary in Wausau bought a bench and dedicated to Weiland's memories. School staff say the bench will be used to encourage students to talk with each other about their issues rather than resorting to violence. Detective Weiland's father says it was a generous move, and he and his family are very grateful.
They don't really know you, but yet they still came together as a community or as a school to actually raise money, in behalf of Jason Weiland to make this bench, and I think that's really wonderful.
Now, Weiland was also a former student at Thomas Jefferson. Still ahead on NBC 26, hundreds of walking their dogs, all to raise money for a great cause. See what it's all about after the break. But first, what's the weather looking like for the rest of the weekend? Your forecast is next.